right, man. Y'all like that? We're back. I love that kind of play, man. I love having fun. I'm here with my homie, man, and I like beating his ass too. So that's great too. So
It was a fair one.
right, it was. I disagree with him, y'all. Y'all go back because I know people contact us and they say I'm going back and listen to all the old episodes. And I'm like, no, don't do that, But people love when you're on the show. So
I'm glad.
I'm,
I'm glad.
yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah,
glad because
yeah.
I'd be worried.
Oh, by God, no. So, man, we went to the movies, man, and we went and checked out 2023's Creed 3, man. I'm kind of surprised by the name, but I guess the other one name was Creed 2.
Yeah.
So,
Keep it simple, bro.
yeah, super simple. So, drama, sport. Never heard that before. And so,
Sport singular. Yeah.
it's a drama sport, right?
Sport.
PG-13, 1 hour and 56 minutes, man. Adonis Creed has been thriving in both his career and his family life. But when a childhood friend and former boxing prodigy resurfaces and faces off, is more than just a fight. Damn, IMDb, that kind of like you can drop the ball with that one.
A comma would have been nice.
Yes, it would have. Michael B.
Easy
Jordan
chest.
is actually the director of this, written by Michael
Yes, he is.
Coogler and Ryan Coogler and Zach Balin, who I think is subject to a bunch of controversy, maybe at this point. So we have Michael B. Jordan, Tessa Thompson, Jonathan Majors, Wood Harris. We really could stop there because it's like
Yeah.
Melissa Rashad is in this.
Shout out
Mila
to sure.
Davis Kent plays the adorable Armanda Creed. And more people. That's it. That's all we need to get to.
We'll chill on that.
Indeed. So, man, before we hit it super hard, it's time. Whoa! Get that out. Come back. All right.
Love it.
So, man,
Mm-hmm.
Beat Them Down from the Code 45 podcast, the movie podcast.
Yes, sir.
How do you sum up this film in one word?
Anime.
Really? Explain.
Man, he said it in one of the interviews that like a lot of his influences like for this movie, he used a lot of anime elements in the movie. A lot of the fights had nods to certain animes that existed before, and when I saw them, I lost my shit in the theater.
Okay,
like, he did that. Like, because some people say that type of shit to get you in the theaters and not really follow up and do it, but it was done, my friend, and I loved every second of it.
Interesting. See, all the stuff that I was looking at Creed before I watched it was a lot of like negative interviews and things like that, as far as with Sylvester Stallone and things like
right, because he got Sylvester has
shafted
legitimate beef. No, because he refused to work with a particular producer that he that he has like legitimate beef with, and
he stole his stuff. Yeah,
right, but he's also still open to do Creed 4 if it ever happened
without that producer.
But also Sly's still getting paid. So like because he's still credited and whatnot, and like he doesn't necessarily have beef with Michael B. Jordan.
No, not at all. He was very clear in all those interviews I saw that he had no beef with him. I love the kid, and I'm like, yeah, I know you do,
But he doo-dooed on the producer, and it's like that's fair. Like I can't get mad, and I'm glad that the movie didn't get hurt. Without his absence, because like I really felt like this was a good. Like it's like history repeating itself, because there was a period of time where Rocky was a movie that was not directed by Sylvester Stallone, and then it wound up being directed by Sylvester Stallone. So like history is kind of repeating itself. So the cycle is low key.
That's interesting. That's interesting. So my one word is Rocky, and I mean, I'll explain that by just saying that I absolutely did feel the absence of Rocky in this movie. They tried to like get things accomplished through his brother, by saying that he was a pseudo Rocky character in this thing, but he's not Rocky. He's literally a half-assed character that had some weight because it was supposed to be his brother, but I think that the film would have like really just been rock solid, grounded if Rocky was saying things that this brother was saying, you know.
I get that, but I feel like this was a good story arc to get him out of that shadow, because like Rocky was like the linchpin to make Creed work.
Yeah.
Creed 1 wouldn't work unless you had Rocky that deep into it.
Yeah.
Rocky 2, I was like, Creed 2, I was like, all right, let's dial it back a little bit. I need him to like I needed Rocky to step back a bit to let Creed kind of push forward more.
And it did. I thought
he did. Yeah. I rewatched Creed 2 and I was like, man, there's a lot of Rocky in this.
But if Rocky was only in the movie as much as the brother was, then I think it would have been a 100% home run. I did like the movie, but I felt that absence of that mentor that really, whose words have so much weight. You know, the brother's words did not have that much weight. He was an asshole to Adonis, and Adonis says it in the movie. You know, that
even if like Rocky showed up, I don't want to spoil it. Even Rocky showed up like at the end, kind of like a nice little like, hey, yo, what's going on, little girl? You know what I'm saying? Like doing some goofy shit with the girl, like she got a little talent. Like, I'd have been like, cool, but like it's like I already knew going into the movie, thankfully, that he wasn't going to be there, and I was afraid of like how big of a void it was, but you couldn't feel the void in the film, in my opinion.
Okay, I felt the void, so
I got you.
This will be a good interesting conversation.
Fair.
Totally. Let's do spoilers, and we'll roll from here. So you know, movie starts, and I'm surprised, right? Because there's shit going on, right? He's in his last fight, you know.
Right.
So what I do miss about this film is the absence. Another absence is Ryan Coogler. Really? He did shit with those fights in that first movie that I had never seen before, and it was subtle things. Like I remember when he fought, they took the sound and they put one corner in one ear and the other corner in the other, and I heard it in the theater, and it was like bifurcated, right?
Great.
And you were like, oh shit, they doing this, right? You know, like they put you in that ring, and that kind of stuff didn't happen like in any of the fights. And I missed that, you know.
To be fair, I do have an unfair advantage over you. I saw this movie in 40X. So that means you're in a seat. There's water. So if there's sweat flying, there's some, I don't know.
Oh, you guys have one of those theaters. Wow. I don't like Massachusetts, and you got one there, huh?
Yeah, I don't know where the water comes from, but like when there's sweat flying, it hits you. There's like when there's a combo, there's like 2 air jets behind you to go.
Nice. Yeah, I live in Cleveland. We don't have one of those.
So like I know I have an unfair advantage as far as like talk about how
you kind of got that, but
yeah, because I'm getting my ass.
Wasn't
right. So I'm feeling every ass will be like when the uppercut happens, your chair leans back. So like I have it's hard for me because I feel like my rating in general is always going to have an asterisk because I was getting my ass.
Let me ask you a question. Beat. Is that new to your area?
No, we had it for a while. I saw Sonic 2 like that with my son. Yeah, like that my back hurt.
I know they were in Boston for like I heard about this about 8 years ago. And I was like, wow, that's nice, but we'll never.
Check out Regal Theaters. Like it's in a Regal Theater only.
Yeah, we don't. The Regal Theaters all went out of business here. You know. Yeah, 100%. So it's not going to happen here. So I was wondering, like, when you said that, has it been there, and is it expanding, and you know, maybe other people might get one in the area, or is this something that's been there for a while and it's
been there for a bit. We have a lot of Regals here in Houston, but like, yeah, I mean, like when the lights flash, the lights flash inside the house, like they're doing a bunch of like they close some down here to put more effort in certain other ones. I watched Quantumania. And I forgot what they called it, but like the screen for certain scenes, the screen will expand to the walls.
Wow!
So the whole theater is a screen for a couple of seconds.
Okay, off topic, but F it.
Sure.
You know, that is the future of going to the movies. You have to have something that people can't get. Look, my screen is
exactly.
You're like, dude, it's like 800 inches, and it's like it's more clear and it's beautiful, and I don't have to bother with y'all. And
my subwoofer be woofing, bro. I need
to make me go to the theater, right?
Exactly. If I go to the theater and my sound quality is better than the theater, I'm burning that whole place down.
Exactly, right? So that's pretty cool with the whoosh, 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 and I've heard about this stuff, and so that's interesting. So
when you come down,
yes, 100%. So That's what I missed with the subtle sounds and stuff with Ryan
Okay.
Coogler. He was very deliberate in what he did, and it was
Mhm.
so awesome when he did it. But so they're having this fight, and it's his last fight, and there's not a doubt in your mind that he's gonna win. But he's getting his ass whooped, and then, but I think it was really good of the writers to show that he wasn't a stupid ass brawler who just was strong. That he was actually a scientific, fighter, and
Yes.
that his maturity and his brain actually have him win that fight easily, and I thought that
Right.
was cool.
Like because there was a movie that kind of did this before. It was a Michael Jai White movie because you brought him up several times. Blood and Bone. Blood and Bone did this where like there was a scene in Blood and Bone where like this guy he was about to fight because they never met each other or anything. He had no time to scout. It was a street fight. He was warming up
Yeah.
and like the time slowed down and he watched his warm up and like as he was doing little jabs, he saw where his weaknesses were. And as soon as the fight starts, Michael Jai went right to the weakness and knocks him out.
Yeah,
So like when Michael Jai White was doing the whole like when he go to the side and slows down, you watch his eyes go. Like that's straight up anime. There's an anime reference from Hajino Ippo. It's like a Japanese boxing anime, and like it was ripped straight from that. And I was like, I like it.
Oh, so there you go. That's what you were talking about at
Mhm,
the
mhm,
beginning
mhm.
of the segment. Okay, so he beats this person, and he has like the world is his oyster. He's like retired. He's smarter than Rocky. He didn't get his ass beat like to
No brain
exactly.
intact.
Fine woman, check. Little cute
Check.
kid, check.
Check.
I can actually
Brain.
sleep with her, check.
I know. Brushing my teeth without stabbing my throat. Check.
So he has the life, man. He has the gym. He has the Adelphi gym, from Philadelphia there, Creed's gym. And it's cool. So all of a sudden this guy walks in and they do the flashback, right? Where they show these kids, living their life. And my God, that little kid looked just like Adonis Creed. He looked like Michael B. Jordan so bad.
Both of them kids were casted fantastically.
I was like, is this a deep fake de-aging thing? Or is that
Right,
him?
right.
Dude,
Great casting.
100%.
Another thing though, like even though the corner sound was gone, I love what they did with that song from Chronic 2001. How like that beat
Yeah.
was slowly like we're creeping, we're sneaking, but then it became the actual beat, and then
Yeah.
did, like the dramatic version at the end of the movie.
Yes, they did.
Brought that song back, and I was like,
Yes, they
I
did.
like it. I like it.
So that was Thaddeus Mixon and Spencer Moore
The third or the second.
second. And those cats, yeah. I'm like, wow. And I could have watched the whole movie with these two, right?
Right.
You're like, wow, this is nice.
It was
So
good.
he gets, they stop it right before he gets busted, but you know what happens. You can assume, So in walks, what's his name? Dame.
Yeah, Dame. They didn't put his name in the fucking on the Google thing. But his name.
Right.
Damian something.
Damian Anderson, Dame, Anderson.
Yeah.
And he's like on his car. We saw it in the trailer and stuff. And, he's like, I'm back in town, blah, 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 blah. And it was weird to me, no pound, no nothing. So there was super caution with our protagonist from the beginning. It's like, damn.
Sadly, we all been there.
You're like, ooh.
That's a thing that doesn't really happen for like other people. I'm trying to be nice.
No.
But like,
by all means, be you, dude. I love it.
The past coming back.
Yes.
And you feeling somewhat obligated because of your absence is one of the like most relatable things that came out of that movie. And I'm just like,
you can't stay in a certain spot or you die in that spot, especially being a minority, being a black man in this country. You have to keep moving. And if your homies are not on the same track, you have to abandon them. And you're right. I think a lot of people outside of our culture would not understand that you have to be like, I got to go for mine, right? So
yeah, you don't see it happen too much. Like if it's like a Jersey story or something, you might see something like related to that kind of, but or Boston or something. But it's like that dynamic is like that is a arc a lot of black people have to cross, and like I felt that shit.
Yeah, 100%. I'm like, and I didn't hesitate. I didn't give it much thought as Adonis. I'm like, you know,
I mean,
honestly.
but like, you know, but I like how they made that weight of guilt like legitimate, because
100%.
it made perfect sense for him to forever feel like shit. But
Yeah.
like, I love when they were eating together and talking. I love when like Adonis was trying to like give him something, and Dame was like legitimately offended. He's like, I'm not here for a handout, bro. Like,
I was tripping on that though, beat him down, because I like that conversation. They go out and they to a little cozy little restaurant. They're having steaks and stuff, and I was like, damn, I want a steak. So I'm sitting there looking at this mate, and I'm like, you know, Dame gave Adonis money. You going with me all the way, and gave him money. So when he gave him money, I was like, he was offended, but I was like thinking to myself, that's me. I would literally give money to a friend of mine.
right? But that's not what he wanted. Like, he wasn't.
No, that's not what he wanted. I get that. We find out that's not what he wants.
Because even I didn't like, Randy brought up to when we did a review. Like, he was like, he already had his plans written out, and he's like, "What's your plans?" I can't really tell you, because
that's true.
Getting in that ass.
Yeah, but like, yeah, Montana Bradley would have definitely forked over some cash, because
I
would have. You get $100, you get a bus trick, and so he didn't want that, but it was like so weird. So he wrote him all these things, and he found out that his mom didn't give him like most moms would. Not this hoodlum friend. I ain't giving you the shit from this bastard, So you're not surprised by that. So he has this beautiful little girl.
Mm-hmm.
The wife is still has hearing, still doing her thing, and he has a nice spread, and I'm just like, damn. He got it real nice, but immediately when this guy's on his car, beat him down, he's like in his head, because when he shows up to the house, it's so awkward, right? It's like, what the hell is going on? And his wife like proxies the awkwardness for a little bit, but then leaves, and it gets worse. Like when they're there having the drinks and stuff.
It's tough because of like, I ran away, right?
Yeah.
And this is what I got for it.
But chances are, in many circumstances, everybody would have ran away.
No, of course,
right?
But having that, because like, Dame's making like small comments of like being just in awe, because when the daughter comes out, he's like, "Damn, you got see-through floors." Like, it's just
yeah,
and it's like
yeah.
I would bring it up even if I was in the car. So I'm like, "Yo, you can see through the bottom of your floor."
Right.
Like that, that's a lot. And then you're sitting there having drinks with all of your accomplishments and trophies, and
you saw the Hennessy he was drinking, right? That was that $25,000, $65,000 Hennessy he was drinking.
Several Hennessy commercials throughout this whole deal.
No.
And like, it's hard to not feel like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Because of Dame having that background, like trying to get where he's at. Like, he lived his life. He lived his wildest dreams while he was locked up.
I like when his brother was like, so he brings him to the gym, right? He says he'll vouch for him, and his brother immediately is like, "You don't owe this dude nothing. Look, he's the one that had the gun. He chose," and you're like, yes. Being in that position, you're like, fuck, right? Because I still, I saw the gun too, and I still hung with him, right?
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is like, he only pulled out the gun to help him. All he saw was getting his ass whooped.
He did,
and it's like, and also they both knew who this mystery guy Leon was.
Yeah.
Where they were going with Leon, bro.
Neither. I thought it was gonna be Sneakers.
I thought it was gonna be.
Remember what was that movie with Robert De Niro and Brad Pitt, and they were like in New York, and they ran into that, they like made a mistake and killed somebody with a car. Then they went in juvie hall, and they were getting like abused and beat up and shit.
Yeah,
you know what movie I'm talking about?
Yeah, I don't remember the name, but I really either. I thought he was gonna have to have that omission, that admission, and cry to his wife about it.
I thought so too. I thought that's what they were doing. I know. I thought that's what
he beat us up. And I was like, that's it?
No, right. I was like, no, something happened here. And the real is gonna come out. And I don't know, man.
Because the way he beat him down, I was like, he might have done something to his.
I think it would have been better if that was the case, man.
That's a butt stuff beating.
Yes, dude.
Had somebody head ricochet out the concrete like that many times.
I was like, no,
diddling.
Would a guy raped him or something? I just thought it would, but they, maybe they edited that out, but
they might have cut out the diddle, but I was like, he got diddled.
Yeah. I thought so too. I was like, damn. And so when he was crying about it, with talking to his wife, he was so frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's the only thing that made sense, which is nothing to be ashamed of. It's just like,
Of course,
yeah, like,
but it's a nice parallel to Rocky 3 as far as like admitting something's fucking with you, because he never did it. Like he never really just shared any kind of fear, because like, anytime he was like showing emotions outwardly, he was on a fucking hospital bed from a beat down from Drago. Like that's the only time he was, because he's bleeding internally. He's like,
no. I'll disagree with you, and I'll say that like there were like the pool, when he was in a pool and he was just like couldn't do shit. You know what I'm saying? He was just like he couldn't do anything, and he was just like sitting in that pool, and I was like, that was in Creed 2. That was a sweet moment for me, because he's just fighting against himself. He couldn't get his head around getting the hell beat out of him by Drago.
He didn't really share that though. He kept that to himself.
He,
for the most part,
did, but they showed you the journey. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
No. He's a human character.
Yes.
It's just it's just I like the dynamic of forgiving yourself, and like talking about shit that like you don't want to talk about to somebody, like was like a thing, because it's a thing that we don't do as Black people in general. We don't really like just express feelings or even go to therapy,
especially Black men. That's for sure.
Especially
the women. Yes, the women will. They got over that hump a long time ago.
Oh yeah, they did, because
they're better than us.
Yeah. Honestly, because they have to, because they got a twofold. We at least got patriarchy on our side. Hey guys, I still have a penis. Oh, you're right. You're right. I hate everything you stand for, but you do have a penis.
Right. Exactly.
Raj, right? Am I right? Kitchens.
My man. Oh shit. I'm still trying to think of that movie they was in with those kids, man. Shit.
I can't remember the name, fam.
Me neither. Yeah. It was an excellent film, man. It was and I used to work in like juvenile facilities, so I used to like be extra careful with people. Yep. So anyway, man.
If only they had a Montego, we wouldn't have a movie right now.
Right.
Creed working at State Farm.
Hello, my name is Adonis.
What's going on, fellas? Working hard or hardly working?
So they have that party with the fine music playing and all this stuff, and he's trying to get Drago. I'm glad Drago was in it. I was hoping that the original Drago was going to be there too. I was hoping that, just me. I'm like, I love nostalgia, but at least the actor was there and they were friendly, they
had no reason to have beef.
Exactly. Especially at the end of the movie, it was like, no, this stuff had nothing to do with you, dude, And so, he gets his hand clapped down by some thug. And I was like,
that was obvious.
I took my pseudo son with me. I looked over, I said, I bet you he paid for that, and so, and he comes out that he did. So he gets the shot.
Right.
With Felix.
Right.
And can I just take a pause and just say, sure, could y'all please, Felix needed a little bit more beef on him to be the heavyweight champion of the world.
Right? I agree.
Like Muhammad Ali back in the day, you can't do that no more.
But he did have a face of a fighter. Like I never doubted him as a boxer.
I didn't either. He didn't look like a heavyweight boxer.
He did not look like a heavyweight.
He has to be tall, because Michael B. Jordan is like 6'2". He's a tall cat. So it's not like, I used to think Michael B. Jordan, he looks like a little dude, on film.
At depending on where he's at and who he's filming with, yes.
Yeah, but he's
like when he was in Black Panther, he looked gargantuan.
Yeah. But all the other films, I always thought he was a little dude, He
didn't seem that large, right? But he's a big dude.
He's a big dude,
I love that kid's boxing entrance though.
Who Dane? No, Felix.
Felix's
with the skull and bones and the Day of the Dead and all that stuff. It was nice.
I was like, holy shit. Because like you feel the pageantry, like you're actually watching this fight live.
Yeah.
You're like when it's fight night and they're coming out, that entrance was like, man, this is a good ass champion entrance.
You know what? When I saw that, it made me, I used to be so into boxing, not UFC, like real boxing. Mm-hmm. And I used to watch Tuesday night fights. I used to watch Friday night fights, all that stuff. And it made me miss it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, God, I miss watching the boxing matches and stuff like that.
It's just like once the heavyweight division went down, like everything followed behind it.
100%. Now it's just UFC. That's how
everybody shows up for the heavyweight shit. And like, I really cut like it made me miss like the whole pageantry of like watching boxing, fam, and
So
his
I wasn't
entrance
alone with that.
shit.
That's
But
it.
but I was always scared because Dame, even when, like during the sparring shit, he showed that he was like insane. But I love the parallel to like Mike Tyson
Yeah, dude, he
as
gets in
far as like
there.
what he was wearing, like his gear
He's
and shit.
nothing but a cheat. And that's Mike Tyson was very similar. All he did was headbutt people and elbow people and all that shit. And that's the
I'm
stuff that people never even talked about,
I'm not
right?
getting documented getting my ass whooped by them. I'm gonna disagree. I'm
Look,
not. You
look,
can't catch me on the internet. Nope.
I remember Mike Tyson coming in and doing this and
I
doing
don't
this,
give
and
a
I was
damn.
like, wow,
Nope.
he's elbowing people. He's
Nope.
like
He was a
headbutting
fair
people,
fighter through and through. Nope.
biting people's ears
Ain't
off.
tagging me in this. No, don't you dare. No, sir. We literally just talked about who we rather. Nah, I'd rather not. I'd rather not.
Show up in the house talking about he's gonna f me in the ass and stuff.
Yeah, I don't.
Tell you something, punk. He would literally say that.
Yeah, you remember what he said? And he cried when he said it. I don't want no part of that, fam. He cried. Who says that and cry, bro? Like, no, that's a whole nother type of strength I never had. I lived a nice life.
Oh
I
shit!
lived a soft ass life, bro. I want no. You got me messed up.
Get away from me, man! I'm gonna call the police. Get back!
I'm calling the cops. I'm not entering the ring with you.
Are you kidding me? You might see him bite me. So he's a dirty
Yeah, I'm
fighter,
sorry.
man. He's like
Yes.
beating the shit out of this guy, and he wins, knocks him out. And I don't know. I think it was a little bit much with him laying down and everybody being so concerned. It was like he had to get taken out of the stretcher.
He was fucking him up though.
And Adonis was like totally on his side.
And I thought that was gonna be the beef. I thought that was gonna be
So
the issue.
too.
Because he had the belts like, look at me, bro, we did it. And he's like, nah. And like that wasn't the problem. He already hated his guts the whole time.
Yes. And so
And that was like this, oh shit. Like that's what tripped me out.
the scene with his mother showing him that she knew the attacker was like
The
perfect.
picture was so dumb. The picture was
That's how they
was dumb. I know, but it's like the picture, like he was looking at the camera like, I did that shit. I did that shit. Like it was something about how he looked at the camera. He's like, I know I'm gonna hit somebody in the hand and be responsible for something.
Right.
I want you to know. I want the audience to remember my face clearly that it was me. I did it.
Yeah, so in Montego's world, I'm like calling the cops after that.
I'm like, first of all, I'm like, Mom, what took you so long? Because his hand been broke for weeks.
Right.
You just not showing me the shit after the fight, Mom.
Dane would have been back in jail, and there would have been no big fight because I would have been like, "Oh no, man, he did."
It's like
No,
I know you had heart attacks and strokes, Mom. Oh, they did Felicia so dirty, man.
well, she was old, and
I mean, she looks fantastic still. She's
she
seen
does.
her like
She does.
seeing other people and shit. Like they made her see ghosts and shit. I was like, come on, man, chill out. They wanted you to cry.
Yeah, when she was passing, and
Yeah,
it was very sad, but
super sad.
yeah, but I thought it was necessary, man. I think when they talked about the stroke in the beginning, you knew that she wasn't going to make it through this movie.
No, you knew she was done.
Exactly.
She was out of there. No, there was no way.
And
stay in this house. I'm like,
yeah, baby, get your old ass over here. I'm sitting there.
I'm rich.
I'm like, my mom doesn't live with me. I'm like, I need to hurry up and sell my house and get my mama in my house. That's all I was thinking of. I got to accelerate my plan.
I'm not even selling the house. I rent the house out. And here, this is your money, Mom.
Yeah.
Until it ain't.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
so
stop.
So she
We're
passes. I thought that there was going to be an issue. I thought this guy was going to turn into Clubber Lane, is what I thought.
Like trying to smash on the wife?
Well, no, I thought he was just going to keep just doing shit. Like, crossing every line. I thought he was just going to keep.
He still crossed a lot of lines though, because he was dredging up shit. Because he was making it real personal. He was like, first of all, I get if you're my friend, blah 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 blah, but you only go so far with conversations with my girl. You don't sit there and psychoanalyze my chick.
Yeah.
Without me being around in any kind of consent. You out of pocket.
Yeah. Of course.
That's a fight right there. Like
it would have been worse. He could have hit on her, which but he the level.
But he smashed her proxy though.
Yeah, he did.
Because the chick, at least that's who I think it was. The chick who was singing her songs, he was knocking that down. So he had.
I think so. I think that was her. Yeah.
He had a long game. There was more to that plan.
I'm surprised he made as much money as he did so quickly in that fight because he was a non-contender. He shouldn't have made a goddamn dime really from that fight.
No, he shouldn't have. But it was also an in-house deal, so I'm pretty sure Adonis had all the plans to kind of like just at least setting him right because it might be his only fight, and kind of like
They did that though, because even in Rocky, Rocky didn't make any money off that first fight. He was still in the neighborhood after that.
no,
After
he
that,
did not.
it's
Yeah, no, he
the
did not.
second movie, and it was like that actually makes a lot of sense. He shouldn't have made no money. You're nobody. We're just giving you a shot.
But I love how they did like the ESPN like the storytelling thing. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
I love how they always did in the Creed movies where they kind of like give you that like nice tinge of realism even
yeah,
when we're telling the story.
yeah. You
Um,
heard it here first. The fight is going down. He's accepted. It's on. And he like taunted him and got him right where he wanted him. And
that was like the only like I think there was another moment that felt lazy.
it felt lazy to me because I think it would have been more interesting if it was two fights, but that would have been like the other movie.
It'd been too much.
Yeah, because it was two fights in with the Drago, and I will say that in the beginning of the movie, it was kind of cool that it was a rematch from the very first fight from the guy who got out of jail.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's cool because you always want to know if it would be if it would happen, and he did. He dismantled that guy with no problem.
Right.
So now we're going through head games, right? And I don't know about the montage. How did you feel about the montage with the head games?
I'm glad you said that. I usually first of all, they set the tone so nasty with Creed 1's montage. Creed 1's montage will never be touched.
Oh my god!
Out of all three.
And it was all about the music.
I'm just balling. I cancel Riddle Rocky in the window looking down. He's like, "What's like for you?"
Yes.
Right, and then they chime in with the arm. I'm about to tear up for real now. Yeah.
Flying harder. Or that Childish Gambino was doing that, and
it was singing and shit, bro. So and then there's motorcycles for Philly.
Oh shit!
It was too much emotion. It was too much.
It is. It gets you right here. You just like
and like so. I'm waiting for like another emotional breakdown for every goddamn. Because honestly, let's be real. Out of all, even with Creed included, encompassing like the Creed 1 montage and the Hearts on Fire montage,
yeah,
will be like number 1 and number 2 for me out of the entire series.
Hearts on Fire from 4.
Yes.
Climbing up the mountain.
Well, when my boy got the beard though. I don't know the words. Like all that goofy shit. And cause you don't see like Rocky changed because like the three montages was dope because it was him and Apollo like getting it in and whatnot.
Yeah.
But like Apollo gone now, dog. So like they topped it by him just being like, I gotta be a whole nother dude now.
The only problem with that montage is that they had a montage earlier in that movie with him drive. It was like a music video with him driving.
No, and all that. All of Rocky 4 was a music video. Let's be real. Let's be real. I know all them goofy ass songs. Even when he landed into the fucking airport, there was 18 music videos in that movie.
100.
So like I didn't really like the Creed 2 montage too much. I felt like it was like too macho, like too little. Like
Creed
2 go in the desert and we're gonna fix car parts. And
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm like, all right. So like this out of the 3, this is like the worst.
I like the second one better than this last one. I didn't
a little bit because it still felt like he was.
That's where you miss Rocky at, man. Honestly,
yeah, that's probably what it was. You're probably right because like I remember the montage not really hitting as hard.
It did not to me.
But that last fight though.
Oh yeah.
They made up for the whack montage for that crazy ass last fight.
So they get into this fight, right? And like all kind of shit is happening, but something happens that has not happened in these other movies, and I want to know how you felt about it.
Mm-hmm.
How did you feel about when they erased the crowd and they did the virtual fight?
I got scared
by themselves.
I got scared.
Really?
I got scared because I thought it was gonna suck ass at first. I was like, all right. Cause I was like, you're officially out into your own territory. We're in.
It was
uncharted waters,
mm-hmm.
And I was like, all right. So where are we going with this?
Yeah.
Cause like, I do like how it's like, cause I get the whole thing of like, there's nobody else here but us. Right?
Yeah.
I got that part.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, but I was scared they were gonna do that the whole time.
Yes.
And they didn't. And then that they both went to their dark places in the fight. and I'm like, I'm back. Because when everything became a jail cell, and Dame has got the upper hand because we don't know what happened to Dame in jail all the time.
Right. Good point.
and
Yeah.
and we're feeling it. We're like, oh, man, we are caged in with this animal.
Yeah.
And like I'm getting Watchmen vibes from Rorschach and stuff. You're in here with me. I'm like, oh no. So it's just that's why I chose Kang. This is why I chose Kang earlier. I was like, I don't want to be in fictional jail with you, bro.
Right.
So but then Adonis goes to his dark place where he was getting abused by Leon.
Yeah.
And going in, and I'm just like, man, they're literally fighting out their demons. Like you're really feeling that they're expressing their pain and like sorrow and anger and everything within this fight.
Yeah.
And they're both feeling it. Like they're both aware of where they've been and where they're going within that fight. Because like they see what the person whooping their ass sees in that moment, and I'm like, I'm with this.
Interesting.
Like, I like it.
Interesting.
It was a big gamble.
Interesting.
But also, I'm in that chair like.
Yeah, interesting. I don't think I liked it as much as you did.
I'm in the chair.
Yeah. I didn't like it. I didn't like it, and I think I might have liked it a little bit more if maybe because what I was expecting is like every hit, the regular crowd would pop back in. You know what I'm saying? And so that didn't happen. I was waiting for it. I said, so please keep it grounded some kind of way. So I didn't like how much it was a departure from normal. However, listening to you explain it actually, because I didn't get it, honestly, and until you just explained it, I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. But I guess it shouldn't really have to be explained, especially to somebody like me who's been watching movies as long as I have.
But I do not disagree. I feel like having a flash of like if somebody gets hit hard enough where they snap back into the crowd, and being like, oh shit, would be a nice extra touch to it. Because I felt I'm telling you, I was very like, this doesn't suck.
Yeah.
So like I did it took me out to the point where I got concerned for the movie in general.
Me too.
But then I was too busy buying in because I'm getting thrown across the fucking room in this chair. So
because it's doing that thing, right?
Right. I'm getting like I'm telling you, when there's a combo, the jets go.
Now
you're in there.
They had something like that in Cleveland, but they took them out at the same theater I go to. It didn't shoot anything or win, but it did the wobble. Like I saw like Fast 7 in that, and it like almost made you sick because like it had every time it was like. So I get that. So Creed wins, man.
Yep.
And what I'm happy about is that they didn't wrap it up with like a Rocky. He went over and he talked to the guy, and we don't have to be enemies for the rest of our life. But your time is finally over. Go ahead.
I like to say I like how because like Dame knew he was wrong.
Yep.
And but Michael B. Jordan knew because he was still wrong for what he did. Like he still didn't try.
Zero contact.
Yeah, he literally was like, maybe I could just leave the past behind me. And like the fact that Adonis was able to like at least grapple with the fact that he did do a shitty thing.
Yeah.
Even though it wasn't necessarily all his fault, he still purposely tried to compartmentalize part of his past that he like abandoned somebody.
Yes.
And then for them to sit there in that locker room, beat the fuck because my boy could barely sit down. Oh, the slow motion punch to the stomach, anime reference, and when they punched each other at the same time. Yeah. Goku and Vegeta did that in Dragon Ball Z.
Okay. So I can see
when they hit each other at the same time. Like how did you feel when you saw that scene where they like freeze framed it, where they both socked the fuck out of each other at the same time?
I loved it. Okay. Yeah, I love that.
I stopped and clapped my ass off because that's an exact moment in Dragon Ball Z where like two rivals like that was like their freeze frame moment, and I was like, they did it. Holy shit. Like I was in.
Yeah.
But like the how they kind of just was like, that's not on you, bro. And then like Dame responds and kind of like, nah, man, like don't put leaving me on.
He was wrong as hell, and they both were wrong, But what I liked that Dame said was like he admitted to all of his bullshit because he was like, man, we was only kids. Yeah, dude, you're holding him accountable for being like a 15-year-old 12-year-old kid out there like he's an adult, and he should have been responsible like an adult. You was wrong as hell, but you wanted to use him for everything that you had going on upstairs being in prison. But I get it.
But fighting like as people who fighting sometimes, when you fight like that, A lot of shit comes out because
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like they spoke to each other through that ass whooping,
Yeah, that's true.
and that's why it was so easy to just kind of like let it go because like they hashed it out. Like
Yeah.
they put a lot of their demons came out in that fight, and like I felt like even if they never make another Creed, this is a good way to end it.
Well, I don't
My
think they
opinion.
should actually. I loved
You know,
seeing a daughter in a ring
and you
doing
know
her
she's
thing.
gonna be it's gonna be a grown up Amaya.
I hope not, man. You know,
It's
because
coming.
yeah,
It's
because I thought it's cute enough watching her. You know, and I was like not on Tessa Thompson's like team. You know, when the bully took her picture and was like, I was like, yeah, beat that ass, right?
Yeah, nah, I felt Michael B. Jordan that whole time is cool. He's like, like anytime he's like not agreeing, he gets very audible magically. Like ain't no sign language. He's like,
Right. Started folding his arms and stuff.
all right, okay.
What's she supposed to do? Let her tear up her shit and just be the
Sock
punk?
that child out. You know, my family photo with my daddy winning, nigga get popped.
And she went right up to her. It's just
Yeah, she went full stand. Been watching all your fights to sock up these children.
that I
He's
was
like, maybe sometimes you gotta sock somebody out. And he's like, what does that mean? The fuck about it? Sometimes a grown person gotta get punched in the
yeah.
mouth.
I love that, man. I love that. I disagreed with the wife 100% with that scene. I'm like, no way.
I feel like that's built in. I feel like every movie, especially like a sports movie, like you're gonna disagree with the wife somehow.
Well,
I
you know,
feel like in every sports movie,
look,
they'll
Bianca.
disagree, but then they'll like come around and like hit you with actual logic. You're like, yeah, you're
Look, Bianca was great because she was no Adrian. You can't win. You know how many times Adrian was
Bro.
always like,
Adrian was not a lot of help. She only helped in 3.
right.
She only helped in 3. It took her like 2 whole movies. Right. Took her a minute.
You know,
I lost both my eyes in both fights. It took you like oh, you know what? Shorter rounds. Can we talk about Rocky 3? Like it was a combination of 5 rounds total.
yeah.
Rocky 3 between him and Clubber. So like she couldn't do 20 rounds.
Yeah, that's true, dude.
She'd have been in the
She
airport.
was such a killjoy in these movies, man. You know, it's like,
Adrian was always a wet blanket, bro.
yeah, dude.
She was a wet blanket in 1. I was like, why are you still trying?
Yeah.
I got a thing for weird shit.
Oh my goodness. So in the movie,
her glasses and nothing improved. It was
nothing. Like they tried to make her sexy in 4, right?
that she's all that shit did not work for. He took them glasses off. It was like, ooh, put those back on. Whoa.
Right. Oh my goodness.
I made some bad choices here.
Yeah, he sure did. Oh my goodness. So man, that was it in the movie, and I enjoyed myself. But I did feel the presence. I felt the absence of Rocky, man. And I don't think Rocky needed to be a huge influence in this movie, but just to be in there, the moral compass was not his brother. And they tried to make the moral compass be his brother. Not even the moral compass, but the drive and the fire be his brother. And it just didn't work.
Wood Harris did a good job, but yeah, Rocky, he is not.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Other than that, I enjoyed it. And we already went over the parts that we didn't. So that's it, man. We came to do the damn thing. We got it done. And I thank you so much for coming in here and making this show great, man. You know, not just a filler show with somebody. No, it's effing great with you, dude.
It's been fun, bro. Thanks for having me.
I definitely appreciate it. And we gotta have to do this shit more often. What the hell happened to us? You know, shit. Let's keep rolling.
Record on the same day. That's what.
That's what happened. You're right. And today we're not. So this show might be a little late, y'all. So I'm not so sure if I feel like editing all day. So hold on to your host.
Might be it's like 2 coughs that happened.
Yeah. Right. So man, I'm the host of Fans of Patrol. My name is Montego. With me is my co-host, Mr. Beat Them Down from the Code 45 podcast. Please say goodbye to the people, my man.
Goodbye, everybody. Just talk it out instead of beating the dog shit out of somebody.
And dude, until next week, man, we will be on
Patrol.